Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhe Saraswati, Karamule Sita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Sahana Vadu, Sahana Bhunatu, Saviryam Karavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Close your eyes and listen carefully. Let there be no feeling of competition within you. When you realize everyone has a specific part to offer to the whole, all the competition will disappear. And when competition disappears, you will be able to relax and be yourself. How much simpler life becomes when you stop trying to be something you are not. You have your part to play in the whole, so play it to the very best of your ability. I tell you to love one another. Are you doing it? Or are you just tolerating? Making excuses for yourself? Making excuses for yourself by saying that there are certain people you cannot be expected to blend with. You are all the children of the Divine. And the sooner you realize it, the better it will be. Because you are all equal to the Divine. And the Divine love flows equally through everyone. This is the oneness. When you realize that it's the same love flowing through everybody, you will be able to accept everybody. Realize this oneness. Accept each other. And keep growing. That's what the book has to tell us. Exactly what we discussed, I think yesterday or today, I don't remember, I think today. That will be the most difficult lesson for you, for us all, when we go back. To look at the people that we don't like, to look at the people that we don't get along with, and trying to see the same divinity in all. Because it's very easy, like the book says, very easy to fake it. It's very easy to give some reason. You don't have to immediately become pally with the other and get along, no. We're just talking about recognizing the same divinity in everybody. You don't have to then do anything with it. Just recognize. When you go to the market and you want to buy ripe fruit, you want to buy a ripe banana, and then you're in the market and you see a raw banana. So you recognize, no? You recognize that, okay, this banana is raw, one day it will be ripe. Today I don't want raw banana, today I want ripe banana, and so you walk past, you don't pick it up. Or you buy the ripe banana, the raw banana, and you keep it in your house in hope, expecting that it will ripen. It's exactly in relationships. So basically what happens, the banana and you both ripen together. Mark my word, this is going to be the most difficult exercise for you when you go back. Especially when our near and dear ones act like not even act like some strange people. Especially close ones, the ones within our family. Remember one thing, whole spirituality is based on one single formula. The formula is love unites, fear separates. Love unites, fear separates. Or union is love, separation is fear. The basis of competition is in looking at other as a threat. A person who looks at other person same as himself will never be able to compete. Imagine you are representing your country in Olympics and you say, it doesn't matter whoever wins, we are all humans. I get a gold medal or he gets a gold medal. It's okay. Will that person become a champion athlete? He may be a saint, but at that moment when he is competing, he has to look at his competitor as an enemy. Otherwise, he will never compete. There is no reason to compete. We feel competitive in the world is because, number one, we are threatened by so many people around us. Think about it. Think about it. Your need. Your need of doing this and that and this and that. Teaching 4 classes, 5 classes, 10 classes. I see many yoga teachers. It becomes nasty. Instead of appreciating, it becomes nasty. The whole Facebook game is that. You put up your, hi, I'm doing this workshop. But there was an unlike button on Facebook. Hi, I'm doing this workshop. There will be more unlikes than likes. And if there was some honest indicator, because people get threatened. Other fellow, wow, you're doing this workshop, you're not even qualified for it. Hey, mind your own business. Because somewhere it stimulates that belief system, no, I'm not good enough. Or immediately you launch your own workshop. She's doing hips, I'll do shoulders. When is the workshop? Next week Friday. I'll do it on Thursday. It happens on all these games. Fear separates. If you feel separate from somebody, there is some kind of fear, some kind of shame, some kind of disharmony. So how do you come closer to that person? By removing that disharmony. And that's the basis of Bhakti Yoga. I don't know why, but every evening Satsang becomes Satsang on Bhakti, so which is okay. And that's why we have Radha dressed up as sari today, in sari. If you look at God as something out there who is going to decide my fate, you will be a slave of God. But if you look at God as your friend, you will cultivate sweet devotion towards God. If God or divinity is an idea in your head as something that's sitting on a cloud looking down at you and then punishing you because you did something wrong, which you thought was right, but according to God it was wrong, you are a slave. My mother used to say, as a teacher, your respect, you should not demand respect, you should command respect. And this is something that I have heard since my childhood, because my mother was a teacher, her father was a teacher, and she always used to say, Prasad, respect should be commanded, not demanded. What means commanded? Through your life, people start respecting you. You don't say, hey, respect me. That's demand. You need to respect me. That's demand. But you behave in such a way that people just automatically they start respecting. It's like love. You put a gun on somebody's head, you can't make them fall in love with you. These are inherent. These are in nature of the divine. They cannot be forced. Love cannot be forced. Respect cannot be forced. Compassion cannot be forced. If you look at God as something out of reach. Right now I was playing a song by a saint, Janabai. She was a saint in 15th century. And how amazing things are. She was a woman of lower caste, and she happened to work as a servant in the house of a saint. And by being at his service, she became a saint. She's one of the most admired women saints of India. So the song that I was playing, what is she saying? Zani Zai Pani Ashi. Zani, her name. Janabai was her name. Zani. She is going to get water from the well. And behind me is Vishnu. Vishnu. Main aspect of Krishna. What does it mean? She was a slave girl. All she was doing was cooking for her master, bringing water for her master, putting him to sleep, or whatever the servants did at that time. And then later on the song says, I am. They used to have this flour making, no? You put grains like this and then you grind. The flour grinder, two rocks used to rotate like this. So she's saying, I go to grind flour and Vishnu helps me. I go to wash clothes, he puts water when I'm washing clothes. I go to cook, he helps me chop vegetables. And it was not her fancy, I wish God was there to chop some vegetables. No. She really saw God there. And God was actually there helping her. Sometimes guests used to come because her master was a saint. So many disciples used to come to see him. Alone she would do all the things. Why? Because she saw God's hand in everything. And in her, that realization, she became one of the saints. Almost equally respected as her master, who was an established mystic saint at that time. Imagine. Young girl, hardly 18, 19, to have that kind of realization. And this is how women in that time have achieved spiritual heights through bhakti. A woman is naturally in the heart, emotional, devotional. Bhakti is a natural path for her, and through that bhakti, the woman sometimes leaves behind all these scholar saints and karmis and others. Through that. She could have said, no, I am a slave girl, I am not even, why should God help me? I am not born in proper circumstances. Who am I? Self-beating mechanism. No. He says, today if I have to make chapatis, Vishnu, God, is making the flour. I will make chapatis, God, you make flour. Okay. So she saw God in her day-to-day life, in her little world. What was her world as a servant girl? Kitchen, watering the plants, drawing water from the well or river, that's it. So even in that limited zone, she saw God present everywhere. Point that I am making is we need to start seeing divine in everything. At least 20% of things that we do. And the best would be to love your haters. Best exercise. Don't have to go to any jungle or Himalaya or cave. If you are in the city, that's best practical ground to practice spirituality. You going to Himalayas will only delay your spiritual evolution. God will say, damn, I gave her 10 challenges and she goes to Himalaya and sits in a cave. She wasted this life. I brought 10 souls next to her so she can learn from all those 10 and get liberated in one lifetime. Now she ran away and goes to Himalaya. Now 10 more lifetimes for her. So embrace life. Take life as an experience, good or bad. If it's good, say thank you. If it's bad, learn. That's it. It's so simple. The problem happens is that we have a list of desires. We have such a long list of desires that are not at all feeding the true self. Think about it. Our desires are here, and the line of true self is here. We are standing in the wrong line. Like flight. Our flight to heaven is on gate number 1A. We are standing on gate number 2B. Where is that flight going? No idea. Why are you standing here? Because everybody is standing here. There's a long line here. The list of desires is so long. Plus, is there the desire, the list of desires is not even in line with the moksha. To analyze your desires. Analyze. What are my strong desires? And if liberation doesn't fall in first three, then just be very, very accepting to yourself and go and pursue what the first and second is. If God or realization or your own, I'm not saying transformation, I'm saying reaching the height doesn't figure in the first 2 or 3, that means you still have to do a lot of other functions in the world. It's honesty. That means the second, artha and kama, just be honest and get involved in it. Don't pursue God because nobody wants to marry you. Many people do that. Shit, I'm 35, nobody wants to marry me, I don't have a boyfriend, let me become a monk. Come on, that's an extreme example, many people do that, but your reason to dedicate yourself to divine is divine itself. Don't come on spiritual path out of frustration. Come to spiritual path out of a real desire for spiritual evolution. Understand that. Don't let it be a second fiddle, as they say. If not this, if I don't have a boyfriend till I'm 35, I'll continue with yoga. Otherwise, means what? Why am I saying this? I mean, commitment. And this is absolutely true that what book says. There's divine in everybody. Dog. Look at those 2 dogs who were walking with us today. Why? Who knows why they were walking with us? They saw the other guy, he crossed the little hill and came to our side. So excitedly, happily. They came. Walking. Defending us. These same guys came with us last time. Remember, Veena? Same. No questions, nothing, no need to know, no play with me, nothing. Quietly they walk, they come, they help us till there, and then wherever they disappear, we don't know. And we also did nothing to them. We also were accepting, okay, come walk with us. If we would have reacted, oh, sure, go away, ooh, then why would we even care? Unconditionally, that dog wants to walk with us. He must be saying, dog, oh, these guys look new, maybe they don't know the road, let me show them. There are other dogs who will bark. That they did, you saw? 2-3 dogs, they wanted to come to us, charging. These guys defended us. And it happened so matter-of-factly. We are walking, dogs come, they are showing us the way, other dogs trying to attack, they defend. Go, so like organically. Nobody is creating any drama around it. Smooth. The reason this is important is because life is not getting easier. And because life is not getting easier, the fear on which our lives are based is being fed. Maybe not by us, but by the society. And we get fed by it. We are being fed about insecurity from diseases, from terrorism, from monetary collapse. Isn't it continuous? You open newspaper, you read 5 newses, out of which first 3 are about some news that feeds fear. And that's why if such messages are going to be bombarded into our system by people that we don't even know, then we better know what to choose out of this information that's been bombarded into us. However bad the world may be, whatever may happen in the world, we need to hold to the goodness, whatever little we can. So when love is higher than fear, love takes care of anything. Anything it may be, anything. But if fear is higher than love in your system, then duality increases. Understand? Love is singularity and fear is duality. You have a piece of cake. If you have 2 people, you cut it in half. If you have 4 people, you cut it half, more half. If you have 8 people, more half. If you have 20 people, you just keep cutting and it divides. It actually multiplies. It's like grows. 1 unit grows. So if I have fear of her, then my fear of her is not just my fear of her. It's my fear of her is my fear of her, everybody. If I am afraid of humans, I am afraid of all 7 billion of them. If I am afraid of a dog, I am afraid of all the dogs, even if it's an innocent, cute little, some mouse dog, who is like, I could just what do you call that? Flick him off, hey, don't bark at me. Still, because when I look at that mouse dog, I see a big dinosaur barking at me. Love unites, fear separates. Ask yourself, what rules your life? Love or fear? If fear rules your heart, your mind, work on yourself and bring it to love. Once you come to that state where love dominates fear, then all these heights of spirituality and all really don't mean anything. Really. It's just a matter of time. A jnani or a Raja Yogi will be waiting for first samadhi, second samadhi, third samadhi. Once you have love in your heart, samadhi, spiritual enlightenment and all means nothing to you. Nothing. See, for a hungry person, a 5-star hotel dinner is a big deal. But for a person who gets his meals on time and good meals, for 5-star hotel, okay, fine, let's go. So it's like that. And likes attracts like. And this is real, huh? I mean, I don't know. We have all experienced this. If you have love in your heart and you walk around with love, when did I say that? Yesterday only, no? Walk with love in your heart?
Yesterday.
Last night Satsang. If you walk with love in your heart, then either people who need that love will come to you and it will not make you miserable. Otherwise, why are all these people coming to me? Oof. I myself don't have enough love. No, this will never happen if you are in the heart. Because that energy will not be yours to give. Understand? It will not be yours, and it is not yours anyway. The love in your heart is not, you cannot claim it. It's universal. It's not your love. That's why you can love your husband and you can love your child. Because love is love. You just love. And you love your best friend. And you love God in that. And then you love your nation. And then you love your work. It's all love, no? So try to reflect and find out when you go home who are those 1 or 2 people. Don't start with the whole nation. Find out 1 or 2 people with whom you are going to practice eternal love relating. Love relating. Whatever it is. Like, you don't like me? Okay. My love is with you. You may not say, I love you or I am in love with you. But, no, nothing negative. Still the love is the same. Try. 1 or 2 people. Select 1 or 2. Don't take 4, 10, 15 people. Take 1 or 2. Best would be in your family. Your husband, your mother, your father, your brother, husband, child, something like that. Very, very close. Because such irritants are always super close to you. Super close. The most challenging stimuluses are always around you. Have you noticed? The most challenging stimuluses, which we usually label as, what do you call that, obstructions. You know, you say, oh, my husband is so challenging, he's such an obstruction on my spiritual path. No, he's not an obstruction, he's your biggest lesson. You're just looking at him as an obstruction. He is your biggest lesson. You solve him, done. You got a huge lesson for life. You don't understand him as a question, he becomes an impediment. He becomes an obstruction. God sent him in your life because he is this person who's going to give you like this chunk of experiences that you might have to go through 4-5 lifetimes if he was not around. Understand that? Imagine you have a husband and he's like an irritant. Because you look at him and like, this guy obstructing my spiritual path. If he was not there, I would become a saint by now. No. God in His mercy has sent this man in your life, and He has packed this man with all possible variables. If you solve him, if you solve this person, then 4 or 5 lifetimes of lessons that you will have to ideally go through, boom. You figure this guy out, it's like a domino effect. It solves many karmas. Maybe if he was not there, you would have to take 4 or 5 lifetimes to burn those karmas, perhaps. So you see how you approach these people. And that is why we need our sadhana, our pranayama, our immunity. Why? Because if you want to solve such difficult difficult issues one by one, you better need to be in your fittest of health.
I like the phrase you've been using for the past few days, experience giver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that puts things into light.
Absolutely.
And it goes with what you said.
Experience giver and you are experience taker or experiencer. But just taking experiences, as we saw, bhoga. So husband may be an experience giver. You blaming him, but you are also useless. You're just taking experience, you're not even channeling them. Make something out of it, no? Last 30 years in the relationship, husband-wife relationship, your husband is giving you experience, you are taking experience. Nobody is cultivating it. Nobody is adding value to it and learning from it. So it's stuck, no? Now if you change your perspective and say, okay, fine. Till last 30 years I saw this guy as my husband. Now I look at him as my experience giver. So whatever he gives me, I am going to channel, and at least for my evolution, I am going to use those clues to sort out my issue. You will be doing a big favor on him by doing it.
Sometimes you need to really know whether you've learned the lesson or not,
Okay, so if look, again, it's not for you to decide if you've learned it or not. That's the beauty. It's like you are a student who's writing an exam. You cannot mark your own papers. There's a teacher to mark the papers. What can you do? You can study hard, write the exam in all seriousness, submit the paper and get out. What I am saying is, life is a big teacher. If you have not learned from this lesson, life will send another lesson. The universe is conscious. Understand that. The universe is conscious. That's why it's called consciousness. It's not dead. If from the first boyfriend you did not learn anything, life will send you another man exactly like this guy who will give you exactly similar experiences for you to learn. If you don't learn from this guy, life will send you third one. What do you say? You say like, all men are the same. No, all men are the same because you are the same. You change, men will change. You understand? You, it's like lock and key. The lock will have the same key. If the lock changes, the key will be different. So, if you change for better, a better man will come in your life. If you don't change, then the same men will come. Whoever, Iran, Africa, Canada, doesn't matter. Superficially, they will all be different. But the experience they will want to give you will be exactly the same. And how will you relate to that? You will say, oh, all the men I am getting are exactly doing the same thing to me. Of course. They are not doing anything to you. You are inviting them. Understand lock and key example.
It's also your energy sometimes.
Absolutely. It's energetic. It's completely
I
energetic.
also feel another thing that when you feel that someone is very angry with you or they're rude, impolite, whatever, it's also their negative energy inside that is being projected. So actually they need help instead. So it's like just ignore it, do whatever you need to, but it's also their negativity being projected. That's why it's coming out in that way.
Sure. Especially with
that's
men.
another way of looking at it.
Yeah. Especially with men. Men have very limited ways of expressing their insecurities. Men usually express their insecurities in two ways. Anger or possessiveness. That's it. A man cannot cry. Boys don't cry. We have established gender biases like this. So what does a man do? Man becomes angry. Because it's acceptable by the societal standards that a man is angry. Understand? If you say, oh, my husband was crying last night, what? Immediately there's this whole air bubble around him. Oh, he was crying, he was sobbing. Oh, such a... But if you say, oh, my husband was so angry yesterday, he could have gone and beaten up somebody. Oh, wow. He immediately becomes macho. These are the standard gender stereotypes. No? Like men will always like to say, in their gangs, in their groups, they'll say, oh, yesterday I was so angry, I would have just beaten him up. And all the other guys are like, oh, really? Oh, what happened? Accept it. If the man says, oh, I was so angry yesterday, I just went to my room and I cried. Imagine, we are laughing, eh? So, this is not accepted by. So, who will cry? So, this insecurity becomes clinginess. I have so many students, their husbands are very clingy with them. Because there is no other way of expressing their insecurities. If a man tries to expresses his insecurity, immediately there is this cultural gender role that is forced upon him. Hey, how can you tell your wife that you are afraid of the future? You are the provider, you are the caregiver. What will happen to your wife who depends on you? What will happen to the children who look up to you? No, press it, repress. I am the caregiver. And then he represses it. But that man is insecure because he might lose his job. His company was just taken over by another company. Who can he go and express it to? He doesn't know. His closest is his wife. But he realizes if he tells that, darling, I'm afraid I might lose a job in next 1 month, his wife will go, what will happen to the kids? Even more insecure. So what does he do? He goes out and gets drunk. And then fights with somebody in the bar. That is okay. That's completely normal. Guys fight. It's alright. We will see that when we do the chakras. Cultivate that. Cultivate the dialogue. Not just with your partners, with your mothers and fathers. That's the first thing. That's the first thing you need to sort out. Husband, hopefully at our age, he'll be around for next 10, 15, 20 years. Parents are already lifetime warranty is over. They are on extended warranty, which you have not even paid for. Sort that out first. If you have 1 hour, you want to sort out issues with your husband or your mother and father, sort out mother and father first. Husband will be around. With all variables kept constant, that's the same physics. And they're all general circumstances, the chances of your husband being around are more. Father and mother, we don't know. Healthy individuals are nowadays transmigrating to another realms. Sort it out. If you can do that, you are really courageous. That's real courage, yeah? Not fighting a tiger. Going face to face with your mom or your dad. Dad, I had issues with you for the last 30 years. I can't handle this discomfort anymore. Let's talk. I call that guts. That's guts. Mom, you know how it's between you and me. I don't know why it is like this, but as far as I know, it's been uncomfortable with you since my childhood. I don't want to know why it is, but I just want to just mend our ways. I want to change my life, and that's why I want to just look at you out of love, look at you out of compassion, just whatever, if I have done something wrong that has affected you, that has bothered you, please forgive me. I was also in my own drama, so I might have said something, but I'm trying to sort myself out. That's why I want to make this clear. Thank you. Finish. Now, how would you know if you're finished? Possibly after this dialogue still things are not finished. But at least you've started with honest intention that, oh, look, I want to do it. And that will go with you. If you have to die in the next 5 minutes, then that opening of one knot will, next lifetime when your mother becomes your own daughter, that time the discomfort will be less. So sort that out, please. In my meditations I see this. When I had father and mother, I had some responsibilities. The moment I would sit for meditation, ting, 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 their faces would line up. Or even if I'm chanting some mantra, mother's like a screen, no? You got mail. Like that. Mother's, I'm meditating, why is mom's face coming? And then once the face comes, then the whole story comes, no? With that, in meditation. Once the face comes, then it's just auto-remind. Some experience, some experience that you don't even remember on the timeline. It just pops up. You're sitting nice, Hare Krishna. My father, what's father doing? Oh, he did that to me in childhood. Now when I sit, it's blank. Sometimes boring. So I'm so used to color and this. Now I say it's blank. I'm waiting something will happen. Nothing else. Blank. So when something bothers you, when there's some unsolved energy block, it shows up in meditation. And take that as a clue. If it's repeatedly showing up, that means your subconscious mind is telling you to, hey, go and sort it out. Just don't sit there and meditate. Go and sort this out first. Read Gospel of Matthew chapter 7. That chapter 7 of Gospel of Matthew is very good chapter for day-to-day living. And chapter 10 of Gospel of Matthew is good for students. That is his instruction to his apostles. We will read that when we do business model of yoga. We will read Gospel of Matthew chapter 10. So sort it out. Otherwise there's no peace. That's why I keep saying that spirituality is based in practicality. You have to understand that. Spirituality, you cannot go out of practicality and establish spirituality. No. Not at our stage. A time comes when it is such a desperation to get out of the society, like Buddha. But look, Buddha leaves his palace, leaves his family, but makes sure that he enlightens himself. He doesn't like after 2 days out in cold, he says, sorry, let me come home. No. Gone. So a time will come on the spiritual path. Understand why people leave and go to the forest. A time comes on spiritual path when society doesn't stimulate anything. Now, the local shopkeeper makes us angry, a bus driver makes us jealous, this friend in the school makes us want to go and buy new shoes. We live in a society where we are continuously stimulated. A time comes when you are spiritually mature enough that society doesn't stimulate anything anymore. That time, the people take a step back and go in isolation. Why they go in isolation? Because stimulation is just a wave on the top. The real core is deep inside the mind. So these people will go to the forest to find the core disturbance and sort it out via samadhi. You understand the mechanics? Otherwise, what will happen? You are hearing the word, today twilight irritating my chitta, my mind. Tomorrow Tom will. Then Karo will. These are waves on the top. So these are Maunis. Such people who take a step back and move away from the societies are called Mauni. Mauni means the silent one. Why do they do that? They take a step back because they realize all that I am seeing outside is just projection of mind. I want to stop that projector first. If I don't block this projector, if I don't destroy this projector, these projections will keep coming. I am just dealing with projections. I have to sort out the projector. So, go in complete because projector is inside. When you go for a movie, people hardly know where the projector is projecting the image from. But without the projector, there will be no image. You cannot go to the screen and stop the movie. Isn't it? You cannot go to the screen and stop the movie. You cannot cover it. You may tear the screen, still the image will be projected. If you really want to stop the image being projected on the screen, go backstage and shut the electric supply to the projector. Then the movies will be stopped. These people, Maunis, do exactly that. They say, enough of projections. I cannot battle projections because it is an unending battle. It will never stop. You see that? Projections will never stop unless you stop the projector. So many cinema theatres use the same projector and they play so many movies. Today is playing horror movie, tomorrow romantic movie, third day adventurous movie. Movie themes are changing. Movies are changing on the screen. Projections are changing. Projector is the same. You take the projector away, there will be no more drama. There will be no more theatre. There will be no more cinema. So the Maunis, they step back, they go in isolation, they move inward their awareness and sort out the projector fundamentally. And realize that there is no need for me to project any movie anymore because I am full. I don't need any more entertainment because I experience myself fully. And the joy of experiencing myself is bigger 100 times, million times than the joy I get by watching or involving myself in a drama. So time of isolation will come, definitely, one day in your life. May not be this life, maybe after 10 lifetimes, who knows. So right now what you do, embrace the world. Right now, embrace the world, solve as many equations as you can, and one by one sort out your mind. Sleep in contentment, sleep calm, sleep in peace, enjoy your day-to-day peace. This is living enlightenment. This is living embodied realization. You don't have to wait for samadhi to happen. This is samadhi. You brought it to you in practicality. Contentment is the samadhi of a busy man. Contentment is the samadhi of practical people like us, who still have desires, who still have purposes, who still want to do something in life for ourselves, which is fair. How you will taste the ultimate love of God, how you will taste the spiritual success, by seeing to it that every day you are content. If every day you are not content, then find out why are you not content and sort it out.